Welcome back, Twitch.
Hello.
We're here with a very, very important AWS partner, Datadog. I'm A.M. Grabelny. I'm a senior partner solution architect, so I work directly with companies like yours.
Yeah.
And we got Gabe down here. Gabe, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gabe Hollenby. I'm a tech evangelist based out of Singapore.
And then he's horribly jet lagged.
Yeah.
Wonderfully jet lagged. It's all good. There's no better reason to be here.
We've got Jason, too. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jason Yee. I'm a senior technical evangelist at Datadog.
All right. So, Datadog.
Let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What is Datadog?
What is it?
Datadog, aside from being a cute puppy, which we were talking about earlier, is a SaaS-based observability platform. So we combine your metrics, your traces, thinking about APM, and your logs all together. We just rolled out a bunch of new stuff as well. So we've got a security monitoring product, network performance monitoring, real user monitoring, things like that. So
monitoring all the things.
Monitoring all the things, end-to-end, give you a nice view of what's going on in your systems.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you kind of need this stuff if you're running applications.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean,
basically anything.
you could sort of YOLO ops and just deploy and walk away, right? But that's probably
kind of
not
my preferred way.
Maybe a good starting question might be like comparing it to, say, CloudWatch, which a lot of AWS users are probably familiar with because it's baked right in. Datadog gives you a lot more and a lot different metrics than what you're going to get out of the box with CloudWatch. So do you want to talk about that and so much more than just metrics?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, CloudWatch is great. Like, we all love CloudWatch. You set up something in AWS and you're like, cool, I've got this thing out of the box. But I think most people have that problem of they're either running something on-prem, they're doing that migration, they're like, how do I see what I've got now and compare that when I migrate to AWS, right? Or I've got things like EC2 instances where, cool, I've got a virtual machine in the cloud, but I've got things on it, right? You don't just run this empty server. And so you install things like Postgres or whatever on it, and now you have to monitor that as well.
Exactly.
So getting those and then merging that in, right? You've got your logging, you've got your distributed tracing. How do you get that from your developers, right? Getting them to instrument your applications, see how well they're performing, see how that compares with the machine that it's running on.
Yep.
One of the things I like to point out, too, when working with any of the AWS partners, right? AWS has services that may overlap with what you all offer as well, but you all are so laser focused on specific features around metrics and monitoring and logging to offer customers something that generally we can't, right? Because we're, CloudWatch, it ends up being just another service in 150 plus services that we have at AWS. But you all are building strictly for application monitoring and metrics collection.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's one of those nice things that like everybody has used CloudWatch, right? You get up on AWS and you've got this thing, and then there's always that concern of do I build it or buy it, right?
Right.
Well, when it comes out of the box and it works really well, and then you got people that are actually focused on it, the point becomes, well, should I waste my time on this, right?
Is your business making monitoring for a living? If it is, build it. If it's not, don't.
Yeah, similarly, is your business running your own cloud, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just buy it.
Yes, totally. So I think you had a lot of demos you wanted to show us, I think.
I've got some demos.
Substantial
Let's do
demos.
some demos.
All right. Let's see. Let's jump into this.
Okay, hold on. We're
Hold on, we're
going
going to switch to the demo feed here.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a great question. How many truckloads of iPhones do you go through every time you do a convention promotion?
Thank you, Tux Kamen.
That is amazing. Thanks. Yeah, Tux Kamen. We are giving away, for those who are watching the stream and are at reInvent, we're giving away a ton of iPhones. Drop by our booth. Essentially, if you sign up for a free trial, which gets you access to everything, 1 in 10 chance of winning a new iPhone or new Pixel.
That's awesome.
And then we're doing this great thing in the ARIA, which is really cool. You get a demo of Datadog, and then you get hands-on, and you get to do this fun game, and we're giving away Nintendo Switches for that.
I have a Switch. I love it.
I do, too. I love it.
I do not have a Switch.
Oh.
I was waiting for all
you
the Black
can't win
Friday
one from
sales.
Datadog. So.
And I can't. Yeah.
No.
It's horrible. All right, so we were talking about demos.
Yes.
One of the fun things about Datadog is it's got this great name that it could either be Datadog, like And so
Datadog?
I built these stupid example apps, and one of them was Datadog, and it was like, it showed you a picture of a dog and a cat, and you had to pick the dog.
The dog.
Datadog. The other is Datadog, which I don't know if my laptop is showing up on this. We've got the last week in AWS. My good friend Corey Quinn jokes about Datadog being Tinder for puppies.
Yes.
And I actually built an app that was Datadog.
Oh, Tinder for puppies.
Yeah, Tinder for puppies.
Okay.
So I've got a new one because I build stupid apps. And this is Hot Dog. I guess it's like hot or not. And we're going to go around and choose which dog we think is cuter.
I mean, the right.
the right?
Pom-
You even
Pomeranian?
need to talk. It's just
Yeah,
the right.
yeah.
It's
I
the
mean,
one
but
on the
this-
right.
The Pomeranian.
Yeah.
I mean, this
that
little
dog
Yorkie
wins.
has like stolen a hot dog or something.
He
That's
looks very
true.
dapper.
Yeah.
That dog has some energy to him.
All right, we're
Or
going to
her.
choose the Pomeranian.
Okay.
Bow tie or Pomeranian?
Bow tie.
Ooh.
Bow
So
tie.
you introduced the bow tie, you know, the
Yeah,
bow,
all
and
right.
the hair.
All right, we'll say bow tie.
Head accessories are important, AM.
Yeah.
Oh, no, right again. That's a regal dog.
Regal dog?
Look at that dog. That dog is royalty.
I don't know.
I think let's just keep going. Let's
I
let's
go-
see if
go
we can
bow tie here.
All right.
eventually get. Oh
Ah.
no!
Crap.
Oh no!
what?
Don't worry, it's supposed to happen.
Or
Man.
is it?
Is it?
I don't know.
We'll
All
have
right.
to find out.
How do
Yeah.
we find out, Datadog?
So how do we find out? Well, let's jump back into my console here. And I'm going to go to my application. And it turns out that we're actually running here in EKS. So I can do things like kubectl, get node. I hope that's big enough on the screen.
EKS, the Elastic Kubernetes Service from AWS for
Yeah.
running managed Kubernetes nodes.
Which is really great because you don't have to set up like any of that, right? You
Yeah.
just you have nodes and AWS runs the Kubernetes master for you, which normally would be like you'd have to have another node for that and you'd have to do all this setup, and it's kind of a pain. So it's really great to have this. So I've got a node there, and we can see that I've got pod that's running my application code. But how do we do this? Well, we need some monitoring, right?
Right. Well, we have an application error. We need to know what's going wrong.
Exactly.
So give me more error
I could
info.
do stupid things like, kubectl, like get the logs for this.
Yeah, which is a good start.
It's a good start, but like, again, it's not going to give me like a whole ton of stuff. It does give me this output, which is.
So if I want to read 100 lines
Yeah.
of scroll back and,
Yeah.
and trace back, I can.
It looks
And
like I got
just-
invalid URL.
If this was the last thing that, the log data too, right?
Yeah, right? Like I'd have to search through all of my logs. So let's actually get Datadog running on this. And the nice thing about Datadog is it's super easy to get running. Really, we've got in my Kubernetes directory here a Datadog agent file.
Okay.
So I'm going to do two things. The first thing is I'm going to get my Datadog.
While you're setting this up, I'm also just going to mention it. This is not only for Kubernetes. You don't have to use Datadog with Kubernetes. This is just the demo context.
Yeah.
There's a Datadog agent you can put right on your EC2 instances. There's a Datadog Lambda layer if you're using AWS Lambda functions.
Spoilers.
We'll talk about that.
eh? Spoilers.
Well, I don't want people to tune out if they think, oh, this is a Kubernetes, I'm not interested.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
You should be interested because Datadog is truly great. I was a
Ah.
customer of Datadog in a previous
Right.
company too.
So I already had my key in there. All I have to do now is apply this Daemon Set, right? So let's take a quick look at that.
What's a Daemon Set?
Yeah, so that begs the question, what is a Daemon Set? Well, Daemon Set is a special thing in Kubernetes that ensures that I've got one pod running for every node that Kubernetes has.
Okay.
Right? So we can do cool things with this because, for example, I'm going to go ahead and quit this and apply it. And that's going to create a bunch of stuff. And that means that essentially we're going to start monitoring this in Datadog. But as mentioned before, I've got this running on one node. Right? And so because this is a daemon set, it does really cool things. Like if I have to expand my Kubernetes cluster, I can go into my AWS console here,
Yep.
and we can do things like adding a new node group and add more nodes. And as we would do that, it means that Datadog would just automatically show up on those.
Stick its agent pod on those. The
Yeah.
alternative to this would be if I didn't want to use this daemon set, I would have to, in my Docker files, put some Datadog code in each one, and then that's
Exactly.
replicated and wasteful because I only need one copy of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So we see that now that we got our application. We've got Datadog there. One quick thing that I'm going to do is update my deployment here. So let's quickly just do this for my hot dog deployment.
Twitch chat is happy that you exposed an access token.
Yeah. Feel free to
enjoy the dogs.
To use that for the brief period of time that we're on this. This is why we generate a bunch of access API keys. Cool. So one other thing that I forgot to do while my application was sort of failing was I forgot to point it. I've got this cool Lambda function, which would save my dog. And that was actually why it was failing.
Yes, it said insert Lambda here. I don't know how
Yeah.
to invoke a Lambda called insert Lambda here.
So clearly was not completely set up. Other things that I've got in this, though, as I'm setting up my application, I do want to point it at that Datadog agent. So the Kubernetes has this idea that it's going to expose the host IP. So what's going on here is you've got an application in Kubernetes.
Yep.
That's going to send information down to the host. Datadog has its own container in that Daemon Set. It's going to read that back up. So that's how we're passing information. Let's go ahead and apply that.
While you're applying that, I'll just mention to everyone in chat, we've got our MooBot mentioning this in chat, but just in case you're not reading all the scroll back, we have a panel below the video feed to donate to our charity 3 Square, so I just want to make sure you're aware of that if you're interested.
Sweet. So that should be everything that we need to get up and running in Datadog. Let's go ahead and check my events here, see if I've got something showing up. I do. So just like that, I've got some events coming in. Datadog has already seen that I've got Kubernetes. I'm getting a bunch of information about Kubernetes in here. So that's a good way to start out. Let's go.
We have a one question from chat. Is there an option to export my CloudWatch logs over to Datadog for historical data tracking?
Ooh, that's a good question. I believe that you can, although I would have to check in on that.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It's a maybe on that.
It's a definitive maybe.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay,
Cool.
So we saw Kubernetes.
So we saw Kubernetes. How much time we got? Ooh,
What about one of my favorite services?
Lambda?
Lambda.
Lambda.
I love Lambda.
So I'm like more of a
Why don't you
back-end
marry
person.
it?
Lambda,
I
me,
would,
is all like
but I'm married.
magic. But I just tried this out. Lambda, the cool thing is it's super easy. And there are other partners like Serverless Framework is one that I just
Yep,
found.
big fan of Serverless Framework.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin Collins. Shout out Austin.
Yeah.
Love Austin.
Cool. So I was one of the reasons it failed was I was pointing at that Lambda which didn't actually exist.
That's right.
Super easy way though to get up and running if you're running serverless or if you're running Lambda. All I have to do here is say serverless plugin install -n serverless -plugin -Datadog. Right. Makes it so easy. It's going to install this plugin. Boom. And then the only other thing that I have to do for my application here is I've got my handler. So for those who aren't familiar with serverless, it's really just going to take this code in the handler, put that as my Lambda function. But all I have to do is add this line here about the Datadog Lambda wrapper, and then annotate my application here, which it looks like something's going on with weird
That's
character
not
codes
an
there.
symbol.
It should be an @ symbol.
Huh.
That is weirdness. Let's try it anyway.
Let's see.
Serverless deploy, yellow ops. Deploy that up. So far, no complaints.
Is it possible to create a single metric filter, for example, to search for error in all the log file streams of reach log group?
Absolutely.
Ramthulsil?
Well, there's some, reach log group. Yeah, absolutely. Like, so Datadog, we've got this wonderful logging in Datadog. We actually have, let me jump to the live tail. Live tail is going to actually live tail all of my logs from every single thing that I've got running in Datadog.
That's so nice.
Let's see if the network actually likes this. Let's pause and play. It might take a little bit. Oh, you know what? I have like nothing actually running. We'd have to actually hit our application to do this. So that's not a good demo. But yeah, we can see all of this. I can do searching on it. I can look at status codes, things like that. Makes it super easy. All right. Serverless I should probably not have done this over conference network.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But it's making use of a feature of Lambda called
Yeah.
Lambda Layers, which automatically
So-
includes libraries.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I'm in actually the console here,
can
one
see
thing
which
you'll
layers
notice
are-
with Lambdas is there's this layers here, right? And if this actually were deployed, I'd click on layers, I'd see Datadog there. You don't have to use the serverless framework. I could click on add layer here. I could provide a layer ARN. That's in our documentation. You just paste that in there, and that would go ahead and add it for you as well. But layers is a great feature of Lambda. It's made things so much easier. I think, Gabe, you were talking about before when you were monitoring with Datadog and Lambda, and like, what did you have to do?
Right. So back in the olden days, you had to just do like a console log or a print, depending on if you're like in Python or JS, for example, and you would have a special string where you would say monitor in all caps, and then a pipe character, and then metrics the way you'd want Datadog to pick up. And Datadog had something that through cross-account access you would grant Datadog's AWS account access to read-only grep all of your CloudWatch logs,
Yeah.
pull the metrics out of that, and the Lambda layer gives you a nicer programmatic way to hook into that.
Absolutely.
So in the last 20 seconds, Jason,
right.
where do I go to get started?
You can go to datadoghq.com, or again, if you're at reInvent, drop by one of our booths. Maybe you'll win a phone.
Oh, maybe you'll win a phone. I like
Yeah.
that incentive. That's nice. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Stick around. We'll be back just in a few seconds.
See ya.